Well, hello again everybody. Today I'm going to attempt a job that's so simple that my Haynes manual hasn't even bothered to include instructions on how to do it. And that is to change the oil in the final drive on the Suzuki Intruder. Now the reason I want to do this is that I know from the service history and records that came with the bike that for the last 9-10 years it's really only done minimal mileage. Looks like it's really just been taken to the MOT station and back. And there's definitely signs that it's had fairly minimal maintenance as well. I mean, the problems that we had with the brakes and the state of the brake fluid, that clutch slave cylinder, the front brake problem, I think all those are just signs that the bike's been suffering from not being used or ridden at all and then suddenly being put back into use. I've got myself some nice gear oil of the correct grade. Now the first thing I'm going to do is check that I can get the filler nut undone. The bike is perfectly usable at the moment. This is really just a precautionary little bit of maintenance, but if I drain all the oil out and I can't get the filler undone, I am in a spot of bother. So I'm going to make sure I can move that first. Not really expecting any problems, but you never know. Yep, that's nice and free. So now I can go ahead and undo the drain nut there. Now I don't really want any oil going onto my tyre, so I've made myself a little chute out of this piece of, well, it's actually a piece of giant heat shrink tube I got for another project but never ended up using. So I've removed the filler, and of course a little bit is leaking out because the bike is really supposed to be upright for this. More on that later. But oil doesn't look terrible to my eyes anyway, but I'm going to go ahead and take that drain plug out. And yeah, that's good. There's nothing on the little magnetic plug on it. So yeah, that oil is not looking terrible to me. It's still got a little bit of a golden. It's got a weird greenish tinge to it. I know these final dryers do get quite hot. It might have been better to have it nice and warm before I drained it out. Maybe take the bike for a run or something. But I'm not too fussed because this is just a precautionary thing. I'm going to leave that for a little while, maybe go and have a cup of tea or something while that finishes draining out, just to make sure as much comes out as possible. Now the reason I'm doing this is because I read a few posts online about people having problems when they didn't change the final drive oil often enough. Whether that's a common thing or not, I don't really know. Reading stuff on that like that online is a bit like looking at medical stuff. You always start to think stuff's wrong with you that maybe isn't really, but I don't think it can hurt. It'd be good to get some nice fresh oil in the final drive and know that everything's absolutely spot on. So yeah, let's leave that for a little while and come back to it. Well, that's better. I had a nice cup of tea and a sandwich and one of Nikki's little cakes as well, and a banana. So yeah, I reckon we've left that for at least 35-40 minutes or so. So I'm now going to bung the drain plug back in again. Now I don't have a torque setting for this, so it's just going to be an appropriate level of tightness. Use the old 2-finger torque wrench. Right, I'll give that a wipe off and then we're ready to start topping her back up with oil. Before I do though, this is the ideal opportunity to try something out that the folks at Ttxela have sent me. And it's an endoscope for looking inside bits and pieces just like this to have a look and see, maybe spot wear, problems, that sort of thing. I don't think there is a problem with this final drive, but it'll certainly be interesting to have a look inside it. So inside the box it comes in its own pretty slick little carrying case. Look at that. So yeah, inside the box you've got the device itself, and it has already got a TF card in it, which is handy. Lots of people see these devices don't have the memory card in. It's got a bit of a sort of a installation troubleshooting guide, and a USB cable. I guess might need to charge it up before I use it, and I guess that's the endoscope bit itself, and looks like some hooky things that you can put on to try and sort of hook things maybe. Oh, and there's the key for getting the card in and out, I'm guessing. Right, let's have a look inside this final drive. So there you go, I was pretty impressed with that. I can see how that would be very useful in certain situations to look inside components, engines, gearboxes, that sort of thing. So if you'd like one, go to the affiliate link in the description of this video and you can get yourself a nice discount off your first purchase. As usual, please collect any used oil to be disposed of responsibly. Right, now let's get some oil back in that drive unit. Now you've got to basically fill it up until it's level with the sort of top of the outlet for the filler cap thing. Obviously you have to have the bike level for that. And obviously I haven't got very good facilities for that. I did look at possibly wedging the bike upright, but there's risks in that. I didn't really want the bike to fall over, so I'm going to get Nikki to help me when I get it near full by sitting on the bike and hold it upright so I can top it off to the correct level. We're not there yet. Right, jump on the bike. Seriously? Yeah. Okay. Is that it? That's it? Can you get me off then? Ah! Ow! Oh, I can't walk now. Well, this motorbiking's not for me anymore. So there you go, final drive oil change done on the Suzuki Intruder. Pretty simple, but well worth doing, I think.